the last day of August, August 31st. I still have some firewood for my indoor chimney fireplace. And then here in the backyard, we had a couple of good rainstorms, some wind, a little bit of weather. So I'd have to walk around the yard and pick up all the wood that falls from these trees. You can see how big these trees are. So any dead branch just falls down. So I had to pick it up like this. You know, you just go around your yard, you pick up things. And then come over to the pit. Before you know it, you got quite a bit of wood in there. Now the big one here, that one you just burn it in half and then you shove the ends back in there. So I think I'm going to torch it tonight. And just use like my fire starter, those little wax things, and then just burn it. And it'll go up quick. It'll be a big hot fire. Let me move the chair out of the way. Got my little tables here. So that would be a big one. And then I usually pick up after the dogs. I should put this on like 2 times as fast or something, right? Like when you edit, how you make it go faster. Okay. So I got the little bucket and the shovel. And then I used to call these chocolate Easter eggs to my little granddaughter. Just dog doo-doo. I have 2 dogs. I got them each from a shelter. I got one from Troy, Ohio. I had to drive up Interstate 75 north. And I got this big black dog. He's 100 pounds. And then all the way up in Columbus, I drove up to I-70 east to Columbus and got the brown dog. The brown dog was going to be euthanized. She was on the kill list. She had a kill date, was going to be executed. The black dog was just at the shelter and nobody was visiting the dog. Nobody was calling about the dog. Nobody showed any interest in the dog because people don't like to adopt large dogs. And believe it or not, people don't like to buy black dogs either. You see a lot of white people and they have a little white fluffy dog, right? I'm not going to say anything more about that. You probably got to vote for Trump sign in the front yard too. Anyway, we're an equal opportunity dog owner here. So I decided to kind of come out of my shell a little bit. This is the dog doo-doo. And then I have a trash can back here. I just tie off my bag. Like this. That way I don't smell it or see it. I just throw it in there. And then about every, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks, I have to empty that into the trash can that they take from the house. But it's back here in the backyard behind the garage, so I don't smell it. And it's pretty tidy. I've got my gas can. I filled this up. The yard's all mowed. I had a handyman come by the house. Somebody, a stranger, pulled in the front of the house and came up to the door, rang the doorbell, handed me a business card, and he offered to do some work, and he said, I can trim those hedges, in the front yard. I'm like, well, all I have is $40 cash. And he goes, well, I take checks. I thought, well, that's kind of cheeky, but all right, So I asked him how much it charged me to do the hedges. There's those shoes, Larice. Me and Larice have a joke about my shoes. Open this up. Open up the kitchen. Okay. All right, Cara. I got another watermelon. God, I love watermelon. I got these little ones. Let me turn the light on. You can't even see them here. Okay. There's my watermelon. It's only that big. And then, because it's hard for me to use like a big knife and cut a melon. It's just something where I just feel like the possibility of me cutting my hand is pretty high. And I don't want to end up in the emergency room getting stitches just for cutting a watermelon. That's just stupid. So what I do is I like to buy the watermelon that's already cut up, and that's expensive. And a lot of times it's not as fresh, it's like kind of soggy. Doesn't really taste good. But I got some, here it is, this kind. It's just so refreshing. If I could eat watermelon every morning. Get a fork. So, I need to get in the car and go to the pharmacy to get his medicine. And there's my dog bed, the big bed and the little bed. I got the blankets for the dogs. And I have I guess I could do an unboxing video. I got a Mr. Coffee. Hey, quit. Hot and cold. And it comes with the glass holder for the cold. It was included. I bought it on Amazon. I think they had like 5 of these left or 8 of these left. So there's the lid and the straw. I don't normally have coffee. Now my son came to visit, so I didn't have a coffee maker, He got something. He contracted. So when I go to the pharmacy to pick up the dog's medicine, I can get some drip coffee. Apparently you scoop it You put it in the top. We have a little basket. So it doesn't look like I need paper. Do I need paper filters? And then you just use either side. There's supposed to be a spoon in here, a measuring spoon for the coffee, depending on if I'm going to have hot coffee or cold coffee. How does that go back in there? I screwed this up already. Yeah, I probably did. Joanne. Come on, girlfriend. Oh, new stuff, right? You buy something new, and you have to figure out how to use it. These are other boxes of stuff I have to put them together. All right. Hey, Kona, look up. Kona, look up. Say hi. Kona had me, took him to a dermatologist. I drove down to Cincinnati. I spent over $1,000. They took biopsies from his skin. You can see, and they looked at him under a microscope, and they sent him to a lab for pathology. He's had a skin problem for 2 years, and he's been on antibiotics every month for 2 years. And it was biopsy before, and it came back bacterial. Well, it came back bacterial infection again this time, but it's a methicillin-resistant staph. It's not RS, it's not MRSA, it's MRSP. And so clindamycin, the culture and sensitivity, clindamycin will kill it. So he's on clindamycin for 7 days, then he was on clindamycin for 28 days, back to back. And then I go pick up the prescription. So the doctor's just gonna, like, basically throw the whole kitchen sink at the dog. He's gonna just keep him on a steady diet of antibiotics until this shit gets eradicated. And then when he stops taking the antibiotics, there should not be a resurgence of bacteria. So we can, cross our fingers and hope the plan works. But what's different is he's on this antibiotic because that's not the normal one that he's been taking over the last couple of years. So hopefully I can get my dog healed. And then I'll feel like, I did something good. So, all right. Next time I see you, we'll be sitting outside at the fire pit, striking a match. Gathering place, over and out.